espero que nadie se ofenda, pero hasta que no estás aquí dentro no sabes la grandeza de este equipo.
Só nós sentimos assim. Por muitos desgostos que possamos ter, valores mais altos se levantam. O valor mais alto que se levanta em termos futebolísticos chama-se Benfica.
Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Untitled Chapter podcast. Today, we got our normal crew, Oscar, Jay, Kenny. Boys, how are we?
Pretty good. How's it going, boys?
How's it going?
Good evening.
It's going to be an eventful conversation. We got a big game coming up. Let's jump right into the topics. Today, we're going to talk about penalty perfection. Benfica came away 4-1 victors in the penalty shootout against Guimarães last week in the Taça da Liga. Got the job done in Barcelos. It wasn't the most electrifying performance, but we got the 3 points. I guess that's all that matters. Talk about the highlight and frustration over the course of the last 2 games, and an eventful conversation that I'm sure we'll have previewing the Supertaça on Wednesday against Porto. And we'll have Jason Silva joining us to give us a Porto perspective. Longtime fan, of course. We all grew up with him. He's very passionate, just as we are with his team. So I'm sure he'll have some very interesting opinions and, unfortunately, some depressing memories for us to relive. But it should be interesting nonetheless. Starting off, Exotic Dream Rentals, $10 off per day. Check them out on Facebook. You can book directly through their Facebook page. Let Patrick know we sent you. And in addition to that, we have a $100 gift card we're going to give away today. It'll be a contribution from Untitled Benfiquista as well as Exotic Dream Rental. So we'll have a $100 gift card. We'll mention when we talk about the Porto game how to win it. So stay tuned. Again, $100 gift card for those of you paying attention and are ready to go and want to win some extra money. Make sure you keep listening. So let's jump into Guimarães. I want to touch on the Guimarães and the Gil Vicente game fairly quickly, and then we can jump into the meat and potatoes here with Porto game. So against Guimarães, Taça Liga game, that's JJ's cup, right? He's won quite a few of those, I think 5 to be exact. Going to the game at home, we start with Elton Late, João Ferreira, Vertonghen, Jardel, Nuno Tavares, Tarap, Weigl, Everton, Waldschmidt, Darwin, and Rafa. We end up behind again. Stupinian scores. I think he actually scored a hat-trick today. Guimarães played in the league. And I think he scored a hat-trick. But, again, we're chasing the result. Didn't look great for most part of the game. JJ said after the game that he thought we were in control for the most part. Some people will disagree. But at the end of the day, we win a penalty. Pedrinho gets truck sticked in the box, accidental or not. PZ converts from the spot. We go to penalties and we score all 4 of ours. And Guimarães had one off the post. That second miss was atrocious. I don't know what the hell kind of penalty that was. But I guess I'll start with Kenny. I know that you were very vocal in our chat. So what were your thoughts on that game? What were your frustrations? Who stood out to you?
Yeah, I mean, I'll try to keep this pretty short. I mean, a lot of the same stuff that we've talked about in the past. Considering that, I think we fielded a pretty strong lineup. We played very poorly. I think one of the worst, for me at least, just watching the game. Definitely one of the worst games I've seen them play. There's just no effort all along the field. I highlighted 3 points here. I mean, well, one was that they played poorly. 2, Nuno Tavares, face palm on my head. Like, I just can't believe that, for me, one of his worst games. And I guess the highlight was great PKs. we scored all of ours, and they were pretty good. So yeah, I mean, what else can we say? I mean, we repeat ourselves every week. It's the same mentality, but we come out with the victory, and that's what we, that's the positive. So
Jay, what were your thoughts?
It wasn't. We didn't play that well. I thought that we came out flat. I thought the more and more I see Benfica play lately, without PZ playing it at all, like he really needs to play, regardless if he's playing. It's like we really I complained about it. I get it, but it's like he's showing up. Like this is what I don't get. He's actually playing well. Why not keep riding him? But we struggled so hard. Like it took Jesus until the 60th minute to sub him in, and I was like, dude, get this guy on the field, please, because we have no creativity at all going forward. Guimarães, I thought, played better than us.
It's funny, interesting in terms of the stats. We had 67% possession against 33. Benfica had 10 shots on goal. Guimarães had 4. So I mean, when you look at the numbers, right? I think those tell a different story maybe than what we saw in the game. I actually didn't realize we had 10 shots on goal.
Listen, I'm not saying PZ. I'm just saying without PZ, Benfica really doesn't move the ball that well.
But Benfica's been like that for years. PZ doesn't play well. We don't play well.
I like PZ in the midfield, like right in the middle as a number 8. I know that a lot of you guys have reserves with him there. I get it, but that's where I like to see him play more overall. But again, he needs to be on the field regardless if it's behind the striker on the wing. His presence needs to be felt because without him, Jesus was like screaming at Darwin pretty much the whole game. It's like I was just like laughing. I was like, this is bad.
Oscar,
but he still needs to show up on these big games. We'll
find out Wednesday.
This Wednesday when hopefully I want him to show up. I will eat my words if he shows up.
All right, my thought about Guimarães' game is Guimarães gave it away, lost it. Not that we won it. They absolutely lost it. That PK shouldn't be a PK because the ball is nowhere to be found. Like the ball is way past Pedrinho. It was a foul, but
he gets there if he doesn't hit him.
I don't know.
Dude,
I don't know. The ball is way high. It was. I don't know.
But he lofts it over.
Dude, to me, that's Guimarães giving away a PK. It was.
No, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree.
And if that PK doesn't happen, we lose the game, and that's almost a guarantee because we were not creating enough to even come back on this game. This to me was I agree with Kenny. We fielded a strong team. I thought we were going to save a lot of players, but we fielded a very strong team, and we disappointed once again. It's frustrating to watch Benfica play now. I'm waiting for the day that they have a solid performance from beginning to end, and I haven't seen it this year. It's now Christmas time. The highlights of this season so far is the results. Other than that, frustration is still Jesus can get this team to play.
Which is still the key part is results.
I would say I would say on the Guimarães game, and it's I guess a kind of a good segue. I would say probably Pedrinho was the one that stood out the most. I think he looked good against Guimarães.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I thought so too.
I agree.
He played really well. I was listening mostly on the radio. I wasn't watching the game because it didn't play on TV, but or at least the channels that I have. And and Rafa was a little quiet. I was surprised that Rafa was not involved as much. But yeah, Pedrinho, I did hear his name a lot, and he was playing well.
For a performance like we put together for Guimarães, I would have rather seen more of the players that don't play as much, the Servis, the Samaris, because the guys that were on there definitely expected way more than what they showed.
Absolutely.
But I guess I would highlight one thing. I think if there's one thing that we've seen from this team is João. It's late there, João. Vai para a cama. Já são por aí umas 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, quase 2 da manhã. Staying up late to watch us. Not bad. I would say
Cheers.
The one thing that we get from this Benfica team, at least for now, is I feel like there's at least some fight in the team. I feel like even when we're up against the ropes, even when things are difficult, like I don't feel like they pack it in, put their head down, and just like feel bad for us because we suck, right? Like
I agree.
when I think about the situations that we've been in this year, and think about the similar situations that we were in last year with Bruno Lage towards the end, Nuno Verissimo towards the end, but like I feel like when we went down, that was it. Like it was over. There was no coming back from it. The team didn't have that extra kickstart to get them going. And I feel like now, I mean, we've come back from 3-1 down. We almost did it against Braga again. I just feel like there's this like somewhat better belief in this side. Like no matter what the score is, or no matter what point of the game there, like we still have a chance. And I think if there's a positive that I would take as a whole right now, I would say that's probably the one thing that I think stands out.
But do you see them chasing the result though? Do you see them like fighting? I don't see the garra that I used to see when they were down.
But lately, all the games that we've been winning, we've been coming back.
It's almost given to us. It's almost given to us. It's
like, but you make your own luck to a certain extent, right? Like they're not scoring goals for us.
There's a few games against the Rangers. It sticks in my mind, right? Like. That game was lost, right? And we weren't looking like we were looking for the result. We weren't attacking the field like we should be when we're down 3-1 or 3-2. It looks like they gave us that little pass at the end where Luka put it through to Darwin to tie the game, and that was the only thing.
But think about this. But the second goal, right? Darwin pulls that out of nothing. Yeah, Darwin pulls that out of nothing. But then as soon as that second goal goes in, right? Like again, it kickstarts. Like there's this belief, like we can get this. We can get, and like again, down 3-1 with one man down, having played one man down for 70 minutes. Like Benfica of Bruno Lage in the second half of the season last year would have probably lost 4 or 5. I mean, I think of like the game against Marítimo. Once we conceded the first goal, that was it. It was just like the doors opened and we just looked terrible.
I'll say this. I'll just say this. So
I agree with that.
Teams coming in to play us are not afraid to play us.
Absolutely
they're scoring first. They're scoring first against us all the time. Like that just shows that they're not afraid to attack. And it's going to catch up to us. We're not going to be coming back. A lot of these games, like Guimarães game. I mean, it's still a PK. Or else if there was no PK, we weren't scoring that game.
No chance.
So. And in the Rangers game, both games probably should have lost. So at the end of the day, I think eventually it is going to catch up to us. It's going to catch up to us. And a lot of these teams, they're starting off hot. They're scoring first, but then in the Portuguese league, once they score the goal too, they're going to defend the result. So yeah, it gives us more possession. More, we have the ability to go after the game, but. Against Porto, Braga, Sporting, that's not going to happen. So that's
true.
my thought.
But I would say if the game against Braga had lasted maybe 5 or 10 more minutes, I don't know if we wouldn't have tied that game. But again, it's ifs, right? Like there's a lot of ifs, right? If Benfica doesn't get the penalty against Guimarães, we probably don't win, right? But we don't know how the rest of it plays out. Mm-hmm. Who would you guys say was your standout moment or standout performance in the Guimarães game? Could be a play, could be a decision, could be whatever. Oscar, I'll start with you.
Negative or positive?
The positive is Jesus practice PKs.
What's the negative?
My negative, Jesus still can get the team to play.
He said today in an interview that he thinks Benfica is at about 50% of where he wants them to be.
Hope so.
Oh, we'll see. Hopefully 50%? The other 50% comes on Wednesday. Yeah, 50% of where he wants them to be. Kenny, what was your takeaway from the game?
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of things. I mean, there's that play with Jardel. I thought he had a bad game. I don't know, for a veteran like that, I don't know what he's doing with that, sitting on that ball inside the box. Yeah. Again, I said Tavares, I thought, had one of his worst games. Gilberto is starting to really find his groove. I feel like he had a good game. Pedrinho too. So there is some positives, but they just can't put it all together.
Jay?
Odysseus came up big at the PKs.
It was.
I know one hit the post.
Elton Late.
It was Elton.
Oh, yeah. That's Elton Late. Then it was a goalie.
That save he had was like a gift. You want to talk about a gift? That penalty was a gift.
I'm just giving it to him because he saved it.
That dude comes in as a sub, gives away the penalty and then gifts Alton Leite with a pass on the penalty.
I'm surprised there's no newspaper saying that he's a Benfica player.
Seriously, foi comprado.
Yeah.
Who were the Benfica PK takers?
Everton shot the first one. Hold on, I got it right here.
Easy scored the second one because it was right after
Yeah.
the post.
Everton, PZ, Gabi, and Seth.
Yeah,
I got nervous.
all
I got
big
nervous when
takers.
Gabby. I got nervous.
So did I.
I was like,
When Gabi went up, I'm like, dude, he's gonna fucking buy a por lá no meio.
Yeah,
might have been
I
less-
see him kicking a field goal. I was like, oh,
His was down the middle. Him
right?
and Seth.
Yeah.
Him and Seth were down the middle. And did you notice the goalie waited for PZ? He waited till like the very last second, but it was too late because he couldn't get there in time.
He went the same way that he went earlier.
He waited till the last second.
That hop works, but man, it scares the shit out of me because I feel
Psychologically, as a player, taking a second penalty in such a short time span against the same goalie, that's got to mess with both of you, right? Like, do I go back the same way?
Yeah, I would go right down the middle. I know you're gonna move.
If he went down the middle, he would have saved it because the guy didn't move.
Because he was waiting for Peasy. But if it's more of a PK, you just.
If I tried that technique, that
time.
hop step PK, I would shank the ball so bad. I just don't know how he does it, dude. He has like no leverage on it. I would shank it so bad.
A-Rod is probably listening. Remember the PK took at the Portuguese club? He hit it with his heel.
I did too. I went right after him.
Yep, you both missed.
Yep.
Nervous times, man.
All right, Gil Vicente. Yesterday, Sporting had won their game on Saturday, so Benfica had to win to keep it close again. 2-point gap there at the top. Benfica started. Audi came back in net. Backline was Gilberto, Jardel, Vertonghen, Grimaldo, Pizzi, Weigl, Pedrinho, Darwin, Sef, and Everton. It looked almost like a classic 4-4-2. But it looked like Darwin was playing kind of in between lines. Seemed like Sef was the guy further up. Again, I think it was a game that Benfica was in control. We got the red card. That guy that got the red card is an idiot. And then Benfica goes about a 5 to 6 minute period where it's all hands on deck, hair's on fire. We don't know what the hell's going on. 3 corner kicks in a row. The same guy wins the same header every time. It was just complete chaos. And finally, we were able to score, but then they had also the other play. I can't remember if it was 1-0 already, if it was still 0-0. But that shot that then Grimaldo comes back, interferes with the guy, gets a touch on it. Audi saves it over his head.
That was right before the 2-0. That was right before the 2-0.
So we were already winning? I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, it was just a chaotic, like, 5-minute period where, like, we just looked like we had no idea what the hell was going on. But apart from that, I thought Jay telling us he scored his that day at the Portuguese club. I know that apart from that, I felt like we were in control. Again, it may not have been the quick tempo, fast moving that we would like to see. But against 10 men, we knew Gil Vicente was going to sit deep, right? You got a smaller field, 20 guys or so in a 25, 30 yard space. It's not going to be easy, but at the end of the day, we got the 2 points. Jay, I'll start with you. What were your thoughts on that game?
Well, for starters, whoever knew that Seth had a right foot?
Oh, yeah.
that cross was ridiculous. I was not expecting that. But yeah, I mean, to me, Weigl was I was impressed with Weigl the most. I thought he played very well throughout the game. We were, like you said, we had that time that we were struggling. 3 straight headers. I was like, the same player. I was just like all over the place. I was like, what's going on right now? But we ended up finally getting the result. I thought we played well. Darwin, I thought struggled. I didn't think he played well. Jesus was on.
I feel like he's lost for some confidence.
Yeah,
last couple
Jesus was on his case pretty much the whole game. Trying to go to the corner sometime on some runs here and there. But besides that, I'm just happy we got the W, and now we can focus on this upcoming matchup.
Kenny?
Yeah, I mean, I saw the press conference after the game, and they were asking him about bolas paradas and how we were looking on that series of plays, and he likes to sit. It's just typical Jesus fashion, right? He likes to sit on the stats where e ainda não sofremos golo de bolas paradas, right? All he kept saying is the same thing over and over again.
Only one.
Only one? He said none. Yeah.
No,
so,
one. He said no, isso não conta os livros diretos, direct free kicks, and penalties.
Yeah.
But other than that, we've only conceded one.
But we're shaky. At the end of the day, we're shaky. the defense is, if anything, this game showed how shaky we are back there. I mean, huge. That play, I can't believe that Grimaldo got a foot on that and tipped over the bar.
Dude.
I mean, unbelievable. But
Nuno Tavares would have been at midfield trying to figure out where the hell he is.
You guys didn't even know where Nuno Tavares would be.
Nuno Tavares would have been like, "Oh God, I got to be over there. Shit, I got to get back."
That goal. Hey, you talk about Nuno Tavares when he gave up that goal against Guimarães. He's the one that tracked. He got beat in midfield, but he's the one that got tracked back. What the hell was that?
Yeah, he got smoked in midfield, dude.
Yeah, but where was our center backs? I agree.
I get that.
But he was the one that chased back and got back to him.
He has to.
Grimaldo wouldn't have let that guy turn. He would have followed him.
Oh my God, Tank! That was one of the. That's like
how many times I've seen
fundamental stuff. Like that's fundamental stuff. He got twisted on that turn. Like he got turned on that so bad. Anyways, but yeah, I mean, again, same stuff. I thought the game was okay, better. We scored 2 goals. Everton, found himself in the right places and was able to make them count. So good to see that.
Again, this continues just from the Guimarães game. I don't know how. Look. Let's start with the stats. All right. First of all, Odysseus is basically saved us from that game. Second thing is we played against 10 guys since the 45th minute against Gil Vicente. And let me read the stats really quick. Total shots, 14 for Gil Vicente, 11 for Benfica. Chances created, 10 for Gil Vicente, 10 for Benfica. Big chances, 1 for Gil Vicente, 1 for Benfica. That's a joke. And if you guys keep saying that Benfica is, well, that's what I'm calling about luck. We're being lucky on winning these games. This is a joke. Benfica is not playing the way I like them to play. They're playing.
A lot of luck, man. We're a lucky run right now.
Also, don't forget one thing. When you're saying
luck runs out, second really well in win games.
Second half stats: Benfica had 74% possession against 26. Gil Vicente had 5 shots on goal, but 2 of them come on that play that Odysseus saves, and 2 of them or 3 of them come on that corner kick. Right, so you take those, like I said, those 5 minutes or so of chaos. Other than that, Gil Vicente didn't really do anything.
Wait, but 5 minutes are not part of the 90?
That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is
you can take parts of the other team playing better.
But what I'm saying is those shots come in 2 plays, basically.
Right, and we're already
consistent corners.
I said those 3 shots or those 5 minutes come after Benfica's up 1-0. How the hell is Benfica allowing that to happen when they're up 1-0 against Gil Vicente against 10 guys? If we were losing, or if we were like tied still, I understand if you can attack in and Gil Vicente trying to get a goal or not. But we're winning against Gil Vicente 10 guys, and we allow that to happen.
I don't disagree with you.
That's embarrassing.
And I don't think any of us disagree with you. I mean, I don't think any of us are saying we're playing fantastic. Like I agree, dude. I'm not saying that, but the results are still happening. So at the end of the day, you gotta also look at the positive side, that they are pulling these tough wins out, even though they're not playing the greatest. So imagine when they finally hit their stride and they are playing great, there shouldn't be a problem, right? So
that's my biggest worry is if
that's my hope, right? Like there's times in the season where you're gonna, like, for you to win a title, like, you have to grind out results, right? Like, that's just the reality of it, right? When you think about in a pandemic shortened season where there's continuous games, limited preseason, it's even more so you're going to have to grind out games. And I don't think anyone's naive to say that Benfica is playing well, right? I think we're far from that. But the reality is that Benfica is still winning games, right? So if we can win games while we're not playing well, I'm hopeful that when we do start to play well, it'll be a hell of a lot less stressful.
Look at Sporting last year, right? They were out of the Campeonato, like they were losing left and right. Like, yes, if our season was going that way, right? If we were not pulling off the wins, that's one thing. But we're playing poorly, but yeah, we're still pulling out victories. We're still coming back. We're still, finding ways to win. So I'm just trying to.
But now we're in late December, right? Remind me of a good team Benfica's beat. Oh shit, none.
I think we had like five. Yeah, I mean,
There's nothing. We haven't beat any decent
Wednesday.
team we lost to, and we tied
on Wednesday.
But then I'll ask you the same question.
All right, define me a good team because you.
But then I'll ask you the same question. Who has who? Who has Porto beat? That's good.
Porto in the Champions League. They've.
But I'm saying we're talking about the league.
I get it, but like this year, I'm talking about since Jesus got there. Who has Benfica beat?
So who did Porto beat in the Champions League? Marseille.
Marseille, they're in second place in France. That's ahead of PSG.
Okay.
They like.
So then Rangers is in first place in Scotland.
Olympiacos. They beat Olympiacos. I mean, that's not an easy team.
Okay, but let's talk about the league. Let's talk about who has
Porto. Liège, dude. Come on.
Oh yeah, Liège. Yeah, we beat them. Yeah.
Who has Sporting or who has Porto beat? That's good, right? Passo Ferreira. We beat Passo Ferreira. They're in the top 5.
Do you think at this time do we tie Man City if we play them?
No.
Okay, Porto did.
Yeah. Did you watch the game?
I didn't, but I saw.
I mean, you remember the Chelsea against Barcelona game when Mourinho had 11 guys in the box? It was the same thing, basically. I mean, they did their job. They did what they had to do, right? But I mean, if Porto had to win that game, I don't think Porto wins, right? Because again, there's a different level of play.
You can't expect them.
But you can't compare Manchester City to Benfica, Porto, or Sporting. It's just a completely different level. Sure, in 10 games, maybe one of us will get lucky and beat them, right? But game for game, play for play, I mean, you're comparing, apples to oranges. It's just can't compare.
I would like to know if Mike, you have the stat, but compared to other Jesus years, is this, or compared to any other past years, puntuagem-wise, how are we doing compared to the past around this time? We're
only off by like 2 points.
Yeah, so
from Jesus. From his first season, we're off by about 2 points, give or take a win or a tie.
So
I mean, and his team was stacked that first year. They were stacked. So I mean, and again, there was a different
season. Second half of the season is usually better.
His teams normally are better in the second half.
Yeah.
Yep.
And not to mention, Porto beat both Braga and Boavista, which we lost to.
Correct, but Porto played Braga in the first game of the season.
And Boavista, they beat them 5-0. We lost 3-0.
Okay, so who did Porto lose to?
Huh?
They lost Porto lost to Passo Ferreira
and Marítimo.
And Marítimo. Marítimo's in last place.
Look at that. We beat those two.
And we beat Passo Ferreira. Right?
I'm talking about the good teams.
I'm talking about your theory. I'm talking about
Braga is I consider Braga a good team, right? That's one team they beat.
I agree. But again, it was the first game of the season, right? Like it's completely different dynamic, right? Just like we shouldn't have lost to Boavista, and we did. And I told you guys at the beginning of one of these episodes early on that their coach wasn't going to last, and sure enough, he didn't last.
First game of the season, we lost to Pauk. Will we lose to them now? Would you think we would lose to them now?
We tied them.
No
way we lose to them.
All right, before we jump into the Porto game, Jay's in the backstage waiting for us. He's listening to us so we can talk shit. What would you guys say is the moment of the game, play of the game, decision of the game? Oscar, I'll start with you.
The player of the game, we have to give it to Everton. The first goal, even though it's an own goal, he headed it that direction. The second one, he headed it in. I even know he could use his head. So I'm going to give it to Everton.
Everton, huh?
And the worst of the game is still Benfica can't play shit.
It reminds me of, you guys remember that Gattuso press conference when he was in Greece, when they asked him about his performance, and he was like, sometimes good, sometimes shit. Reminds me of Oscar. Kenny, what was your moment?
Yeah, I mean, we touched on it, right? So Oscar said Everton. I agree. He had a good game. Odysseus, I think, saved us. So I think he's probably, for me, the man of the match because of that. And negative, I don't know. I don't know. Just playing, same old. Not enough intensity. not enough creativity. I still want to see more of them, but yeah.
Okay, Jay.
Yeah, same thing as everyone else. Everton. I thought Everton played real well. My down would be Darwin. I'm kind of worried about him. See if he can get some confidence in this next upcoming game.
Would you sell him? Get him out of here.
I still think he has a lot to bring. It's just like to me, it's like he's even passing up shots. Like he's trying to pass too much.
Like Kenny said, he's wearing a size too big.
He needs to start ripping them.
What's your take? Say that. What's just to touch on something? I know this was controversial, but Gilberto's elbow or hand to the face. What do you guys think?
I had this fucking guy, Sergio Braga. God damn it. All right. I saw the play because he sent me the video like 20 times. Okay. So I got it. I see the play. He's running away. He elbows the guy backwards, right? Before that, there's 3 fouls. If the ref was a legit ref, he calls it one of the fouls and there's no elbow. So if they're going to go to the VAR, they have to see the fouls beforehand and call the foul because that's.
But if VAR interferes, it's a red card for both. The Gil Vicente guy elbows him first, and then he elbows him after.
I thought it would be red for both.
But the last elbow by Gilberto never happened if the foul was.
I agree with that. Yeah,
I agree, but that's not how they call it on the field.
He gets fouled, and then he gets up, and he still goes.
Yeah, but that's not how they call it on the field. They see the retaliation, and I think you got away. I think you got away with it.
And that's a red. If they stop the play for that, you can't give him a yellow. If they stop the play for that, red.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But is a foul before that red? Is a foul before that elbow? The 2 fouls. I saw 3.
Yeah, right? He's getting hacked. I'm surprised he still won the ball after all that.
Yeah, he got up. He still got up and still went with the ball.
I'm telling you, he's showing some stuff, Gilberto. I know your brother.
Look better.
Your brother likes to poke. Listen, I said it. If he starts playing the way he's supposed to, like Jesus, like you thought, Jesus brought him in, then fine. I'll say it.
It's funny, like you want to give them time, but like we're supposed to talk about if they're doing bad, they talk about it. They're doing bad. That's it. And hopefully they turn it around. And Gilberto, I agree with Kenny. He has turned it around a little bit.
No, both Gilberto, Everton. Yeah, we talk shit about them because they hadn't proved anything at Benfica. So Pizzi, I defended because I know what he could possibly.
Yeah, but I can still talk shit about him.
You can still shit. Absolutely, you can still say whatever you want. Absolutely.
I expect a lot from him because he's supposed to be our best player. So I expect.
The thing is, we see Pizzi play the last 4 years, and he's been carrying Benfica. So to me, it's like unfair to him when he has 5 games that are off to sell him. We should have been gone a long time ago. Should have been like a little. We should have found somebody better.
We could have made some money off him.
You could have made money in the bank, and then would you buy somebody better right now? Would be like probably in 4th place.
We'll get nothing.
I would say my best moment, I think, is Odysseus. I mean, Everton got the man of the match because he scored the 2 goals, but I think Odi made the huge difference there. I think if we concede a draw, or even if they score first, I think we're in trouble. He also makes the save off of that first header, that reaction save that he sends it over the crossbar for the second corner. So
let's not forget Grimaldo's cut right there. It's almost like a Samari in Porto.
Yeah, that was a huge. Like a lot of players would have just been like, "Oh fuck it, I'm not gonna get there."
That cut, like almost got him player of the match. Just that side tackle.
Oh my god, dude! Grimaldo's an all-star defender now.
Oh my god, dude!
Sign him up.
Vada's probably on the bench playing with his.
Sign him up, dude.
All right, before we bring Jay in to start the Royal Rumble, we're the predictions. The official score for the Guimarães game was 2-1, 1-1, and then we ended up winning in penalties. So, Bill, Oscar, Jay, you predicted 2-0.
Yeah.
I thought you said 2-1. Kenny was 3-1. I was 2-0. So Bill and Oscar got that one. And then the Gil Vicente game, Bill said 3-1. Oscar said 1-0. Jason Tank said 2-1. Kenny said 3-1. I said 2-0. So I got that one. And now,
own goals count.
To own goals. Hey, as long as they go in the net, they count. Now we're going to talk about the important game here. Benfica Porto.
Bring this kid in.
Porto Benfica on Wednesday.
Supertaça.
We got our buddy Jay here. Let me bring this guy in. Are you guys ready for this? This is gonna be difficult.
He's probably wearing a freaking.
I guarantee he's got his
He's not wearing a Porto shirt either.
He's got his Cascal there. He has.
What's up, boy?
Oh, even worse. The Patriots, even worse.
Shut up.
Can you hear us?
Oh, God.
Can you hear us?
Can you guys hear me?
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised you're not wearing a Porto shirt with like a flag in the back or something. I fully anticipated all sorts of Sporting gear.
Fancy, but
Just figured you'd take it easy on us.
Hey, Mike, just wanted to do something here. So, Jay, we're good guys here. We wanted to welcome you to the pod. So, I got you uma vesqueta de alguma fruta. All right. I wanted to share this with you. Temos aqui. And I don't know how you like it, but às vezes eu gosto de caramelo. I don't know se gosta de caramelo na fruta. Mas temos aqui caramelo. So,
oh my God.
Just wanted to welcome you to the chat, okay? Cheers, buddy.
Desde leite chocolatado.
Very, very cute, guys. Very, very cute.
Well, welcome. So Wednesday we have Supertaça. We're going to talk about a couple of different topics here, but just to kind of go into some of the history, Benfica's got 8 Supertaça wins. Porto has 21. Ironically, of Porto's 21, 10 of them have come against Benfica, which is terrible. We've only beat Porto in the Supertaça once. And with that, for those of you who have been listening, for the $100 gift card, the question is, you have to answer in the comments. When was the last time Benfica beat Porto in the Supertaça? First person in the comments with the right answer wins the $100 gift card. So again, when was the last time Benfica beat Porto? You won't remember.
Yeah, you're gonna have to Google that one.
I will.
Last time we're not. You guys can't win. Last time Benfica beat Porto in the Supertaça. First person in the comments with the answer wins a $100 gift card. So we've beaten them once in the Supertaça. Porto got 21. We got 8. In terms of competition between the two managers, Sérgio Conceição hasn't played Benfica with Jorge Jesus there. But looking at their track record against Porto, JJ, while he's been at Benfica, against Porto, he's got 8 wins, 9 losses, 3 draws. He had his toughest time against AVB, lost 4 times, beat him only once. Dom, you're wrong. He beat Jesualdo Ferreira twice, lost to him once. So he's got a losing record against Porto while he's at Benfica. In terms of Sérgio Conceição against Benfica, since he's been at Porto, he's got 5 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw. So he's got a winning record against Benfica. Lifetime between his time at Porto, Guimarães, Braga, Académica, and Olhanense, he's 7 wins, 9 losses, 2 draws. And then against JJ, between the two of them head-to-head, Jorge Jesus has won 5, Sérgio Conceição has won 3, and they've tied 2. But taking into consideration the level of players that Sérgio Conceição had at his disposal, he was at Olhanense. He lost 2, tied 1 against JJ. He beat JJ when he was with Braga. He lost twice when he was with Braga. Or he won twice, lost once when he was with Braga. So looking at the numbers...
This whole time JJ was with Benfica, right?
Correct. And then he also played Benfica when he was at Académica. And then when JJ was at Sporting in 15-16, JJ beat Guimarães, where Sérgio Conceição was 5-1, and they tied 0-0. So different levels. Mike De Silva, you're wrong. So still don't have an answer. So
can we give him a hint, please? This is embarrassing for you guys.
No, it's I guess we'll start with, since Jay's our guest, I'm gonna start with Jay. I guess
use Google.
Tell us what you think. I guess so far.
Boom.
Danny won it. 1985.
Danny gets it every time.
That's pretty crazy.
That's a long time.
That's crazy.
So 1985 was the only time Benfica beat Porto in the Supertaça. 1985, and at the time it was 2 legs.
And
since
if you
2001.
tie the first two legs, you go to the third game.
You go to the third game. Yeah. So 1985, Benfica's beat Porto once in the Supertaça out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times. 1 out of 11 against Porto.
JJ, did you have that? Did you know that?
Kid was 1 year old. 2 maybe.
You did?
No.
I did. I thought it was much earlier, like sooner. Sorry.
So
yeah.
You know the game that Simão when Feces scored. Simão had a header and Feces had like a.
Yeah, I thought it was Feces.
I thought that was a Supertaça game. That was a final da Taça Portugal. That was a different cup.
Me too. That's what I was thinking.
Me too. I thought the same thing.
So, Jay, what are your? I guess going into this, what are your thoughts as a whole of what you've seen from Porto this year? Is it what you've expected? Do you think you guys are lacking? What I guess what's your take on it so far?
Honestly, I'm a little surprised that our defense sucks so bad. Considering the coach and the way he likes to approach games is very conservative. But honestly, we're only 4 points, 6 points out of it. Considering how bad you guys are right now, it's really a toss-up. And I mean, if Braga wins their game in hand, they're literally 1 point behind us. So it's really, it's going to be a pretty close title race, I think, between probably 3-4 teams this year. Am I surprised? A little bit, because I thought with all the kids leaving and all the sales that we made, lacking depth was like one of our biggest problems, and I think we've done okay. Considering we're obviously playing in multiple games a week with Champions League and all that, and I'd say I'm a little surprised, but taking all that into consideration, I think it's right there for everyone to take.
So, do you think with the sales of like Danilo and Alex Telles and all those guys, you think Porto should be doing worse right now? Were you expecting Porto to be worse than 4 points behind first?
I didn't. I early on, I thought we'd be like either leading or tied for the lead, because let's face it, we're only 2 months in. But I didn't expect our defense to be this poor. But losing Danilo is a huge factor, and our left back is, let's face it, across the world, left back is a problem, and we lost one of the best left backs in the league, if not the best. So I thought we'd be worse off, but we're 2 games out of it, and we still haven't played each other yet. So it's right there for.
But you say, it's funny, you say your defense sucks. Since Porto lost to Paços Ferreira, they've won 10 of their last 11 games. In those 11 games, they have 7 clean sheets. 7 in 11 games. Since Benfica lost to Braga, we've won 7 of our last 9, and in 9 games, we have 4 clean sheets. Right? So a team that's got 7 clean sheets out of 11, I would probably be hesitant to say that they suck. But I guess when we compare it to our defense, I guess you can maybe say that.
I honestly
taking into consideration that Pep.
That's what I was about to say. Pep not being there is a huge factor, and Pep being there is a totally different game for Porto.
Pep's an all-star. Like, he's a stud. Like, he's old, but he can still play. He can control that defense like it's. And losing him, that's huge. It's huge for us. And then I'm not gonna lie, losing Corona, who I thought has been having a great year for Porto.
Wait, are those guys definitely out?
I don't know if they're out, but Corona looked like he pulled something or something happened. But
his knee, he got elbowed in the knee when the guy came sliding through.
But like, I don't know. To me,
there's reports saying that he's going to play, but again, who knows?
Do you know if Pep's going to play? I haven't heard anything about Pep.
Pep or Corona is going to play. The reports.
Corona.
It's right.
Corona. Pep has been working out, but I don't think he's like game ready, especially for a game like this. I can't imagine them throwing him out now.
When was? I mean, he just played recently, last weekend, no? And the operator, that's when he got hurt against Tondela, was it, or Paços Ferreira? One of them. But that's when he got hurt, and then he got operated the next day. But they said that the operation was in his face, so they said he could play with a mask if he wanted to. I don't know if he's going to play.
No
Do
problem.
you think he's one of those? You think he's one of those wild cards? Pretend that he's not going to play and they put him in.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. But I also center back, right back right now for us is a complete crapshoot. We don't know who the hell's going to play. He's rotating Sar, Late, Manafa, and Nanu. That's our weakest link. I mean, every single game we play, the ball's on that side of the field, up and down the sideline. And without Pep being there to clean everyone's mess, that's probably our biggest weakness right there.
But I will tell you, between Manafa and Nanu, the speed that the two of them got, Nossa Senhora, dude, they could be trouble for us, dude. They're like motorcycles, dude. They're so fast.
The problem is they lack service, though. Like they get up there, they just don't know what to do with the ball when they're up there.
Yeah. What do you? I guess let's start with you on this topic, and then we'll go around the table. What is the main advantage that you see that Porto has in this squad today that they can use against Benfica? What's the number one thing that you think stands out?
Our two forwards. One's a Cavallo, and the other one is more. And the other one is, since we've gone back to the 4-4-2, I think that's our best formation, given the style of players we have up top. And I think knowing that your center backs are a disaster.
Interesting that you say the strikers. I would have said the midfield. I think Porto's got a pretty solid midfield. Oscar, I'll start with you. On our side, what do you think is the advantage that Benfica has going into this game against Porto?
Advantage?
Here we go. Why do I start with the negative kid?
No. The only advantage that we have going into this game, but they have Machizin, whatever. That guy is probably not better than ours. But I think the advantage of going into this game,
the way that he phrases that is probably not better than ours.
Yeah.
What English is that?
No, all I know is the only advantage we have going into this game is that we've been getting lucky. So maybe we can get one more game.
The only advantage. So I think the only advantage we have in this game is if Pep is out. That's the only advantage, because I think across the field they have more speed. They pressure, like Benfica in the beginning of the year was pressuring a lot, high press. They've gone away from that. Porto's going to be on top of us, and with the speed that they have, goodbye, whoever's there, Gabriel.
Gabriel's not. He's out.
Gabriel's out.
All right, so Weigl, any of those guys, no chance they're going to catch up to them. Rafa, but then Rafa's going to be running around the midfield all day. I think Darwin's going to have a hard time with Mbemba.
So where would you expose
dude
out of the Porto side? What side, or where would you try to expose Porto? You see no advantages at all for us.
No, our advantage there is
you guys see no advantages at all.
Our advantage there is like Kenny said, is Pepe, because if Leite starts, that's their weak link right there for their center backs, right?
But I also think their right side is a little iffy. You guys
we thought that Manafa was a bad player when they played us last, and he smoked our freaking right side. So it's depends on the game. That guy had one of the most amazing games against Benfica last time they played each other. So, and that was Manafa. Manu, I haven't seen him play against us.
Nanu played for Benfica a lot of years ago.
But this guy, only time I remember him playing is against Porto, and he scored a golazo. But he was
last year against us when he smoked Ferro in Merito.
But he was a winger. He was not even a right back. So he must have been.
Is that Gilberto's side?
I think
he's converted.
No, that's Gilberto's side. Yeah. No, that's Grimaldo.
The way Darwin plays, I think we can take that as an advantage for us to kind of bang around in there with their center backs, if Late plays or if.
Hey, can I ask you guys a question?
What?
Shoot.
When are you guys gonna admit that Darwin sucks?
I was waiting for it.
He's going to score. Now, now he's going to make you eat your words.
But he makes a lot of awesome runs.
My God, here we go.
And then
Oscar actually, if Oscar stands up, he's actually wearing a Porto jersey, not a Benfica jersey.
I've been saying from the beginning that we paid 25 million for goals. I don't care. Like, the guy has to score.
That was going to put somebody on the ground. It's going to be one of your center bags.
Jay, how do you like the matchup of Everton against a Menafa or a Nanu on that side?
I don't. I think they're very sloppy defensively. Like, they're great going forward because they're so fast and like athletic, but defensively, they have no clue what they're doing without Pep back there. I mean, any game that I've watched that either one of the other two have played, we either lose possession or we're getting counterattacked on that side of the field.
Tank,
I got a question.
What was your?
No, go ahead.
Tank, what's your advantage you think that we can expose?
I would say our forwards just try to use, like Silva says, he thinks that his right side, expose that side, get some balls in the box, and let Darwin try to bang around, and hopefully Silva eats his words.
Kenny, what was your question?
No, so when I think back of Porto Benfica games, I think of a lot of dead balls, corner kicks, a lot of
offside goals.
Porto's got a ton of set piece goals, which is dangerous.
Which is dangerous. So that was my question.
Even though we've only conceded one, like JJ said.
And isn't it Mbemba? He scores a lot of them. Mbemba, right? He's got a few.
He's got a good aerial game.
He's from the last
I don't know how many he's got. But...
Yeah, so I feel like they have the upper hand. They have the upper hand on set pieces, corner kicks. Like I'm assuming Otamendi's going to play. I don't know if he's going to try to show something here, or if he's going to be buddy with everybody. But
he's thinking of a nice little easy goal.
Or I know you, Mike, you and Jay have talked about this before. How he gets a little crazy sometimes. I wouldn't mind a little crazy Otamendi this game. I want to see the fire, because if he's not, then I might be on Oscar's conspiracy.
Oh my God.
Oh my God!
If Otamendi gives Porto I'm being honest right now. If Otamendi gives the Pesadilla goal to Porto, that's when I finally draw the line on the sand and say he's a bot.
Wait, but the line
and he's
he froze.
He's one of these. He's one of these. He's got one of these.
He came part of the package deal.
I will say, if there's a game for Otamendi to show himself, if he plays, it's this one, right? Either you show up,
celebrates,
and put in a performance, or it's just not going to work. I think this is the game where he needs to just if he plays, I think this is his barometer. Either you show up and do something, or give someone else a spot.
The script is there.
What's the reason for him being out the last few games? I know he had a red card, but then what's the What
JJ said that it was.
If he scores and he doesn't celebrate, and you still gonna have these little.
No, I respect that. I absolutely respect that. As long as he plays.
Years you have about him being a former Porto player.
No, I respect that.
Would that go away? Would that finally go away?
No. If Otamendi shows up and plays with the guy that I still remember him playing in Porto, then I respect. I don't care if he doesn't celebrate. He can score 5 goals and not celebrate one, and apologize to the fans. I don't care, as long as he plays with the guy that I saw him playing in Porto.
The fans that are in the stadium.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. He can apologize to the coaches there. Be like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I scored against you guys." I don't give a shit as long as he plays with Garra. What Maxi did to us when he scored for Porto. To me, that was
and at the start of the lose.
Yeah, to me, that guy, he's lucky he's made it back to Uruguay. What the fuck he's at?
Let's flip it the other way around.
But that's the South American in them, though. They don't know any better. That's just part of.
It's true. It's true.
Absolutely. No, I've seen. I don't know who. I forget, but a few of our forwards. I think it was even the Socotas and stuff like that. When they scored against Porto, or vice versa, they wouldn't celebrate.
Yeah, but he's not South American, Lumbo.
That's true.
South American, that would be a big thing.
Yeah.
I don't even think
they're just very passionate people.
Yeah, I agree with that. That was a good hot take right there from Jay. I'll flip it the other way around. I'll start with you, Oscar. What do you think is our weakness that Porto can expose? Or do you think that they will expose?
No, the thing is, and I think I read a comment from, I think it might have been Mike, is all depends on our two chosen midfield players, right? If we, depending on what two we choose, it can open up the games tremendously for Porto or vice versa. So I think the two midfield by Benfica is basically what we have to keep up with Sergio Oliveira and Uribe, okay? And Otavio coming into the middle. Those three guys are crucial for Porto's midfield. And then Corona is a freaking he's all over the place. If he plays, obviously, I don't know if Corona is playing or not, but if he plays, those four in the middle are dangerous as hell. So with the Benfica, depending on Benfica's midfield, if they can stop those guys, if they can't, that's the weakest play.
What would be your midfield there then?
Hold on, we're gonna go into the lineup set. Kenny, what's your weakness that you think Porto can or will expose?
That Porto can expose. I think.
Or what are you most concerned about?
I think it's going to be the first real test for Gilberto. I'm concerned that could be a big leak on that side, and
Otavio's been playing on that side, or he did this past weekend.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, he's doubtful, right? He got a knock too. I don't know if he's gonna. But yeah,
he sprained his ankle. His looked worse than Corona's. The guy came through and landed and twisted his ankle. So.
Yeah, I honestly think it's going to be a big test for Gilberto. Big test. And I think that could be a problem. If he gets exposed earlier in the season, that could be dangerous.
Tank?
I'm going to go our left or right back. I think Grimaldo can get exposed. I think Gilberto's probably going to get exposed. Like you guys mentioned, they're fast. It's what's in what Jay said. See if they can put it together up front and get some balls in the box for Marega or Taremi or whoever plays there. But to me, they're going to go down the line on us. So that's where I think they will attack us.
And our dead balls. I mean,
and dead balls. Yeah,
we have Odysseus has a hard time coming out of the post.
I understand that, but it's like what Jesus said. We only gave up one. I'm not you guys are giving Porto the full advantage.
But we don't have big guys. We don't have big.
Yeah, we do. Yes, we do.
I mean, big guys we do, but guys that get in the air not often. We always play it short.
I prefer.
Porto's
bigger all around, I think,
sure.
And stronger dudes.
I don't know if they're bigger. I mean, when you think about height,
I wouldn't.
Marega is.
He's a big dude. He's not tall. I would probably. Mbemba's not tall either. He's just a big dude.
Yeah, they're more dangerous. They're more dangerous than.
I don't even know if Marega even scores headers.
We have a lot of big, tall dudes, and we can clear we've been doing a good job clearing the ball and getting that ball out of it.
I would say height for height, it's probably even, right? We got Vertonghen, Otamendi, right, or Jardel. Our outside backs aren't tall except Nuno Tavares, right? Porto's got Corona, Otavio, they're short. Sergio Oliveira's not a tall guy.
How many goals have they scored anyways?
I think last year their number one scoring source was set pieces. I don't know what their set pieces are. I don't know if Jay knows more or less how frequent they've scored on set pieces or not.
I think they're more dangerous on set pieces. I don't know. Maybe it's just an eye test, but I like they're more. I feel like they're more physical than Vertonghen's tall, but I don't see him as an imposing force in the box. I don't see that. You look at Porto's Mbemba's not tall, but he's a strong dude. He'll move around. Marega is a big dude. I guess I can't really think of anyone else, but
yeah, I don't think
Pep's
they
not
got
there, but Pep
would. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Pep could be there.
If we're talking about height, you have Chancel. If Pep plays, our left back's pretty tall. Sergio, I mean, he's not huge, but he's tallish for a center midfielder. And then you have Marega, who's always involved in those things. He's always in the box.
Yeah. He's dangerous in the box.
And then if Taremi does play, he's a big dude. I mean, that's how he scores all his goals, is headers and tap-ins.
Yeah, I agree with that. Jay, what is the weakness in Porto's team that you think Benfica could or will expose?
The channels in between our right back and center back. I don't think sideline crossing the ball.
He's saying
really
Darwin. You're saying Darwin, aren't you, dude? Huh? That's Darwin's spot right there.
No. I think Darwin sucks. I'm being
Then you're clear. Then you're safe.
But I think that space in between the right and center back is going to be a huge problem for us because it's two kids that aren't used to playing together, and if Pep isn't there to kind of slow everything down and calm everything down, that could be a problem. It's been a problem all season long. It was a problem against Sporting. It was a problem against Man City. Both times, it's a problem.
Fair. I guess we'll go into the starting lineups now. We're going to do starting lineups, what we think is going to start, and then we'll do of the lineups, what we think would be a combined starting 11 between the two teams. So I'll have Jay go first. Who do you think is going to start, or how do you think they're going to line up on Wednesday? You think they go with the 4-4-2 with the two strikers, or do you think they play only one up top?
I think if I'm Sergio, I go 4-4-2 with Uribe and Sergio Oliveira in the middle. I have Otavio on the left side, Corona on the right side, Marega, Taremi up top.
You have Taremi over Luis.
I think. Yeah, he'll cause problems up there. Just being there, making sure that like someone has to mark him, and he's not very good, but he is a goal scorer. If you give him a chance, he's going to bury it, and that's really all he needs is one or two shots, and he might be able to score one. I'd like to see Manafa, but I don't know if he's going to play. And then it's probably going to be Chancel, and Sauzi, whatever, left back. I think he's our secret weapon for that game.
The guy from Santa Clara?
Yeah, the left back. I think he could legitimately...
Zaidu.
I think
Where'd
he
that guy
can legitimately cause...
Santa Clara. He was there last year. Okay.
He can legitimately cause a ton of problems up that left flank.
I don't disagree because he'll be up against.
Score. That's my prediction.
Oof, that's bold.
The same lineup. Luis Diaz up top with Marega.
Huh?
I had the same lineup, just Luis Diaz up top with Marega instead of Taremi.
Okay. I guess before Kenny, Oscar, and Jay, you give us your starting 11. How do you think we're going to do against the likes of Uribe and Sergio Oliveira in that midfield?
So I think to combat, so that goes into play with my starting 11, right? I'm not a big fan of Tarat, and Gabriel's not there, so we're gonna have to play Tarat. But I think this is a better game for Tarat to be.
Really?
I think so. I think he's gonna have more fire in that midfield. I think this is a good spot.
Okay, so who would you start?
So I would start in the midfield. I would start Weigl and Tarat. I would play Pizzi and Darwin up top. Well, one behind the other. Yep. And then Rafa Everton on the wings with Grimaldo, Gilberto, Otamendi, and Vertonghen.
That's my lineup too. Exactly the same.
I really think, and I'm probably going out on a limb, but I really think Tarat is what we need to work in that with Porto's midfield.
And I think, and people that say Luka instead of Rafa, I think we need Rafa for to attack Rafa. Those weak links. Yeah.
And Rafa is one of those guys.
If you guys don't play Rafa,
like they says, that space in between those lines, I think.
If you guys don't play Rafa, yeah, if you guys don't play Rafa, I feel more comfortable.
Yeah, Rafa's the only one that penetrates. I agree.
Rafa he creates danger.
he can. Not only that, he's comfortable on the ball, and he like dictates games. At least the ones that I've seen him play, he like takes the ball on, takes people on, creates havoc. I mean, I don't like the rat. I think he kind of sucks too. But I do see Kenny's point. He takes the ball, dribbles, can create mismatches on the ball. That's a problem.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't think Sergio and Uribe are the greatest midfielders either. I just think there's really no parity in our league, so they've been able to sustain what they've done. I think finally coming up against Benfica is going to be an opportunity for them to prove me wrong. I'm not a big fan of Uribe. I just think he's kind of average. Sergio's done well. He scored, I think, 8 goals this year, has like 3 or 4 assists from a deep position. I just don't know if he can do it against good teams.
How many of those PKs?
I don't think many of them are.
Sérgio Oliveira has a lot of PKs.
Yeah, he scored a lot.
I figured
I don't think he scored that many PKs.
I figured Oscar had that stat queued up, waiting for Jay to say.
No, I didn't know. But Sérgio Oliveira scored all Porto's PKs, and Porto has like 5 this year so far.
6 maybe, actually.
6.
Well,
5, I think.
That's a lot.
When you foul someone in the box, what do you want me to tell you? It happens to both of us.
Wait, do you remember Lisandro back in the day? That wasn't even a foul. That was still a PK.
Hey, I got
No.
some grapes for you. I got grapes.
He hit him. He fell down. PK.
I just want to
That's all I remember.
with our starting lineup, I would switch. I would probably start Luca and Darwin up front and put Weigl and Peasy in the midfield. I know you guys are against it, but I would.
Change ballers.
I would. In my head, I'm like Peasy versus Sergio Oliveira. I think Peasy can win that matchup.
I disagree with that.
Defensively, what?
Yeah, I disagree.
I don't know. To me, I think
Sergio Oliveira puts him in his pocket, dude. Peasy can't defend. He's not physical. Sergio Oliveira will dig in. He will get stuck in.
And that's why I like Tarat. Like, Tarat's feisty, you know? Like, he's all
going to get it. Tarat plays, he's going to get a red card. I guarantee.
That's what I was just going to say. He's Maluku, dude.
I'm telling you right now, Tarat plays, he's going to get a red card.
I think he'll get a – I don't know
2 red
cards
cards
in this game. I don't think red cards in this game.
I don't want Tarat to play.
No, they're gonna let them play. They're gonna let them get.
You can't play Porto without. And I have if you have Tarap playing,
bring Tarap in the second half if we need some energy. When
the game's out of control,
we're not gonna be.
I already read. Bring Rafa off the bench. Yeah, bring Rafa off the bench when we're down 2-0.
To come back from a negative result.
You guys, wow.
Come on.
I think.
You got to play your best players. You play your best players from the start.
I would play that. To me, that would be our best lineup to go against Porto. You may disagree with it. Like, to me, I would go. That's to me. That's what Pizzi's played the best.
That's his opinion. Don't yell at him.
No, you don't bring in.
You're going to be down a guy in 10 minutes.
I agree with you.
He's gonna
win.
I'm telling you, if Tarat and Otamendi 2 red cards.
I don't want to see some fire.
If Otamendi gets a red card, dude, I'd be so pissed. Of all people to get a red card.
Hey, you see when Tarat plays, dude, he swings his arms like so much.
He does it a lot. He gets called on it too a lot.
Terrible.
I think this is one of those games where JJ tries to like reinvent the wheel.
No.
I don't know. I have this feeling that he's going to play with Peasy and Weigl because he's played the last 2 games. And I think Peasy for us, Weigl for us, I feel like he's the most secure in our buildup. When he drops in between the center backs, his passes out of the back are normally more secure, opposed to a Tarat or a Gabriel. You know, they're very inconsistent at times with their pass out of the back, which cause all sorts of issues in transition. I could see him playing Peasy, Weigl, Everton, and Rafa. And behind Darwin, I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say he puts Pedrinho there, and Pedrinho and Rafa alternate on the wing to occupy that space in between lines. That's just. I feel like it's one of those games that he's going to try to pull a rabbit out of a hat, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, it's going to be a shit show. I don't know. I can't see Jorge Jesus trying to pack the midfield. I see him just trying to that's just his way, right? He played David Luiz at left back, right? It was like he's trying to spur a surprise on someone, and we fucking came away with 5-0 loss, and somebody brought us chicken into the stadium and was running around the fucking field that game, right? So
you're saying Pedrinho behind Darwin?
I say between Pedrinho and Rafa, they interchange coming in and out.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do we? Now that we've talked about those lineups, let's talk about what do we think would be the best combined lineup. Let's start in the back. Goalie.
Well,
who do we think's better?
Between the two teams?
We playing 4-4-2?
Yeah,
Marchesian is the better goalie.
Yeah, Marchesian. Yes, to be him.
Really?
I would go Argentinian's a better goalie.
Kenny, what do you think?
Odysseus.
Me, I like Odysseus between the posts. I don't like him coming out. It still has a little bit to improve there.
I agree with that.
But Marchesian is he's an overall better goalie, I think.
I don't think Marchesian's that good with his feet.
And
I could be wrong, but I don't think. I've only seen a few games.
That's like his number one attribute.
Is it? All right, then I guess I could be. I don't watch that much. But
well, that's
what
they
have that feeling.
He's made a number of mistakes there, but that's one of his attributes is good on the ball, which is wild to me. But
Odysseus.
But we
center
all,
back. So we
all
go.
agree that Marchesian's better goalie.
So wait, are we split there?
No, we're not.
No, it's 3-2.
With that.
Me and Tank said Aldi, and the three of you said Marchesian. So Marchesian goes on the team sheet. All right. Center backs. Who we thinking center backs?
That's number one.
Jesus. Oh man.
I think it's got to be.
Yeah, he's all.
Pep to me.
Pep's automatic.
For sure, Pep.
Yeah. Who do we think is playing
alongside? It's going to be between what we're going to put on Mendy there with.
I see Vertonghen, to be honest. I know he's slow and all, but I would say Vertonghen
sucks.
You suck.
That's why he's at Benfica, because he sucks.
Yeah.
I would probably say Mbemba is probably better than playing, at least right now, playing better than our center backs. That would be my vote.
I honestly like Mbemba too. I really do.
Wow.
Jay, would you take any of our center backs? Otamendi back?
I like Otamendi. He's always kind of been a favorite of mine. But look, I'm surprised that Mbemba is actually that good. I thought he was very sloppy when he came here. He was questionable, but he's turned into a real solid center back. I just don't. I don't know what Vertonghen looks like anymore, right? Because I haven't caught that many games for you guys yet. But from what I remember him in the Prem, he's kind of a bum.
I'll tell you what, he still has no speed.
I'm just saying.
I think he's soft. I think he's a soft center back.
I'd go with Otamendi just because I like him. I think he's more overall rounded player.
Oscar, who do you say?
Well, this. Can I put Ruben Diaz in? I can put Ruben Diaz anymore. All right, I'll go with Mbemba because I can't put Otamendi there, and Vertonghen I'm not a fan of.
Kenny, who's your vote? Mbemba?
Yeah, Mbemba. So it's Porto center backs.
All right, so Pep and Mbemba. Jay just picked Otamendi because he wanted to make us feel good.
He wants the red card.
He plays for him anyways.
Right back. Are we going with the world-class Gilberto, or are we switching it up? What are we thinking here? Jay, what do you prefer? No, you got Nanu, you got Menafa, Gilberto.
Left back or right back?
Right back.
Oh, dude. I'm not going to lie. I hate both of our right backs, so I don't know.
That's probably the toughest one.
I'll say Gilberto.
Damn,
he's in form.
Around, huh? But I'll go with Gilberto too. In fact, I'll put Andre Almeida, but he's hurt. but I'll go Gilberto.
So 2 Gilberto. Kenny, what's your vote?
So I don't know. I guess between Manafá or Gilberto, huh?
Or Manu. Or Nanu.
Nanu.
I
Hey,
would
Porto's
say-
played. Go ahead, Kenny. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say they've got more clean sheets, so I'll go with Manafá.
Okay. Jay.
Hey, what about Sergio? Played Corona back there a bunch.
Yes. I don't know. I don't know
He
if
just
he'll
need to be, the optimal lineup. He can play back there.
But how much
I'm
of
not
a
surprised if he plays back there this week.
how much of a
Hot take.
how much of a confidence killer do you think that is for Nanu and Manafá if Corona plays right back in a game like this over them?
That's
As a coach,
Sergio's
as a
Sergio-
coach, how do you handle that going forward as a coach? Right, like I got a right back who I got from Portimonense. I got another right back that I just bought from Marítimo after we played against them. But in the biggest game up until the season, right, domestically,
It was experience.
both of you aren't going to play. I'm going to go with Corona at right back.
You
even though
would
he's not
be. You're
a right back.
professional. Be
No.
better.
I don't disagree with that, but
honestly, I think if there's one thing that Sergio has over JJ is he's got like everyone believing in the team, like we're doing the right thing as a group. I don't think it'd really be that big of a problem. I think the two of them would be like, okay, we understand.
It's experience. They want to go put somebody's experience in there.
I mean, I'd much rather Nanu or Manafá play right back than Corona because
Me
the
too.
times that I've seen him at right back, he's looked good, and he's played against us at right back before.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
so what's the consensus here? It seems like there's a lot of question marks on this right
That's-
side.
Jay, if you put Corona there, you can't use him in midfield either. Bang.
I know if he puts him there. No, but if he puts Corona at right back, Otavio goes to the right side, Luis Diaz goes to the left.
So PZ basically gets that spot because fuck those guys.
All right, so right back, we had Gilberto 2 votes.
Oh
Jay
yeah.
said
What about
Corona.
Andre Almeida if he's not
He's
hurt?
He's hurt. He's not
Let's
playing.
talk about available players.
Oh, available. Hey, honestly,
All right,
maybe
go,
at
go.
70%, he still might be the best.
Kenny, what's your pick?
Andre Almeida? No, I said it. Manafá.
Manafá. I'm gonna say, since Jay said Corona, I would say of all of them, I would play Corona.
So it's 2-2.
Dude, just pick
Look,
one.
just put
Honestly,
a
it
whole
doesn't
Porto
matter.
back line because the left back is Porto's too.
No, Grimaldo.
I
Left
would
back.
take Grimaldo.
I'm going Grimaldo.
Tavares was there. I'll give you anybody, but it's Grimaldo.
Grimaldo sucks. No, Tavares.
Zaidu's better than Grimaldo.
To be honest, this is actually more of a debate than the right back that we spent like 5 minutes on. I wouldn't disagree with Silva here.
I don't know.
Listen, I'm going to tell you this real quick.
I don't know much about
Do you guys
Zaidu.
remember Sissoko?
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys remember Sissoko that we got for like
Yeah, he
6
kinda
months?
reminds me of-
Told him?
Yep.
That's who this kid is. Up and
Yeah.
down the sideline, motor, doesn't stop, can defend, can serve balls, can shoot, creates havoc up on the left wing. He's legitimately like not bad.
Hopefully he's got better.
Rafa's
got
put him
better
in his
teeth.
back pocket.
Hopefully he's got better teeth than Sissoko because that's what stopped him from going to AC Milan when he took his medical. Remember that?
Hey, did you see this weekend Gilberto dar chapadas no gajo? Deixa eu passar à frente da bola. Uma chapada virou ao contrário.
Gilberto won't catch him, dude. He'll run by him. He won't even know what happened. He'll be like, God, you kicked my Sovali. Mamote. All right, so we got Grimaldo on the left. Center midfielders. We got Pizzi, Weigl, Tarat, Sergio Oliveira, Uribe. Otavio can play in the midfield too.
I'm gonna go.
I would go. I guess I can.
I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go quick here. Sergio Oliveira and Pizzi.
Second that. I agree with that.
Jay?
I would go with Deco and Costinha.
And
Actually,
we'll match you.
Me too, actually.
We'll match you with Enzo and Matic.
Oh.
Oh,
What do you think?
Porto wins that matchup all day. Deco was the best player to ever play in Portugal. Honestly, I think so. Sergio Oliveira has to play, but I if we're gonna move Otavio into the middle, then maybe he has some run. But I do like PZ. I like his style. I like the way he plays. So the 2-2 is in the middle.
Yeah, I like Sergio Pizzi. I was gonna put Weigl, but Sergio Pizzi because I like that.
Okay. On the right,
Who would you say, Mikey?
I was going to say PZ and Sergio. I like Sergio. I think he's a
Sergio too.
He can give you off the ball. He can give you offensively. He'll get stuck in.
You know what Sergio reminds me of playing? Ruben Neves from the Wolves.
No.
He reminds me of that kind of style of play.
I don't think offensively he gives you as much.
Just,
I think
it's similarities though. I like those two, how they play.
on the right, who we got? I don't even know who plays on Porto's right. Corona's been playing there. He played there last week, but he's already at right.
You can use Corona then. That's what I said.
Corona.
Everton.
Rafa.
Dude, Corona's the best player in the fucking Portuguese league.
Yeah, so put him on the right back.
Already on the right back. Where else you want to
So
put
leave him there. You put him there already. Agora não posso usar outra vez.
He's got a twin, dude.
Right back and right mid. That's it.
Dude, he's not Cafu.
Right back, right mid.
He's not Cafu, dude. He can't do the whole right side by himself.
Right wing.
The right has
He
to
might
be
be
Rafa.
better than
The right-
Cafu.
The right
Oh
has
my
to be
God.
Rafa.
Just shut the fuck up.
Right, Rafa?
Yes.
Kenny?
Yeah, Rafa.
Doesn't Everton play on the right?
No,
No,
he
it's
plays
not.
left.
No, he plays on the left. Yeah, right. Yeah, Rafa.
All right, so it's unanimous already. JD, your vote
Wait,
doesn't
we're
matter.
honestly going with Rafa?
Yeah, the right back.
Yeah,
Right. We
absolutely.
can't use Corona though. Of course,
Who would
Corona's
you
available.
put there?
I would still go Rafa.
Wait, we didn't put. Did we put Corona?
Corona's on the right back. Yeah, remember I told you that?
Corona. The only Benfica player on the back line is
Okay,
Green.
fair enough.
Left,
And he shouldn't be there, but
left. Everton. Pedrinho can play there. Otavio's played there. What's Zé Luiz or Eder Luiz or whatever the hell his name is?
I like Otavio, and I mean I like Everton too, but Everton's kind of been inconsistent. He's still really. I mean he I don't know. But I like Octavio. I've liked him for a while now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You like that guy? That guy pisses me off.
Dude.
I wish he broke.
He does. He pisses me off. But like, if he played for me, I would like that. I would like that if he played on my team.
Oh,
I
hate him.
completely agree with what Kenny just said.
I
He's
hate
one of
him.
those players that like you hate to play against, but you love.
No, he's a crybaby. That guy's not even. It's
He's
not like he
still-
plays
he's
well.
So is Bruno Fernandes. So is Bruno Fernandes. He's a crybaby.
Whoa. What?
But I
makes
would
him a crybaby?
I would say Everton. He does.
Otavio, he'll complain about every single thing. The fucking
Jay, who was the biggest crybaby and complaining to the ref on Lusitan?
It was Jay.
It was you.
Yeah.
Ref, happy. Even when they were female refs.
Yeah, sir.
You guys are pathetic.
It works every time, 60% of the time.
Oh yeah, I know.
No,
Jay, who would you play on the left side, Jay?
Honestly, if Luis Diaz was more consistent, I think he'd have probably more talent than anyone there. But I like Everton. I think he's
Everton.
like
I agree.
his height and ability. I think is higher than anyone in the league.
Okay.
But he wears a
And then
Benfica
we
jersey, so he can fuck off.
What's your pick, Mike?
I would say Everton. I hate Otavio. Hate him. I can't stand that guy.
Dude, he's been a hell of a player since he was.
I'm not saying that he's not good. I just can't stand him. Two strikers. I think Darwin
and Marega for me.
Marega
plays.
Darwin does not deserve to be on the fucking team. He sucks.
It's terrible.
But he's better than Taremi.
Yeah.
Dude, Jay.
You're gonna put Taremi there?
Yeah,
How
he's
many
better
goals?
than Taremi.
How many goals does Darwin have in the league?
Hold on, I'm going to tell you right now.
He's got
He has a lot of assists and a lot of runs.
A lot of.
Oh my God!
In the
Oscar.
league, I
The
think.
assist, the assist.
I think in the league he's got 3.
You don't get paid to assist as a forward.
But he
Well,
put all the runs.
Darwin has 1 goal in the Portuguese league.
Oh.
25 million.
Who?
So what? He has so he has like what?
This isn't for the Portuguese league. This is for the Supertaça.
He's got 6.
Let me
He's got
explain
6 across
something.
all competitions.
He's also bringing in money, doing
me-
good in the Europa League for us. Here we go. Look at
Please
him.
stop. He's only got 1 goal, and you guys are putting him on the team.
Yeah.
So you're saying Marega? Who else starts with him?
Taremi has 2 goals.
Do
And
not-
he plays 2 minutes a game.
No.
Come on, Jay.
I don't like Taremi at all.
And in that case, put Seferovic because he has more goals than
He's gonna
Taremi.
score.
Then put
I like
Seferovic.
Seferovic. He's better than Darwin.
Then put Seferovic with Marega. Both.
Miles is better than him.
Seth's got 6 goals in the
That'd be a
Portuguese
good
league.
partnership, by the way.
But tomorrow on Wednesday's game, do you if Seth was playing or Darwin was playing, which guy would you be more scared of? Even though Darwin doesn't have many goals right now,
Seth.
but who you be more scared of? Seth? The guy he has 1 foot and he misses more times than he
You
should.
see that cross with his right
Yeah, that's
foot?
why that's why he wants him there because they'll
course.
miss.
No. The truth is, I just like that kind of forward. The whole running in behind, fuck off. Score goals. That's your job.
I think Seth is much better coming off the bench than he is starting. That's just
You'll get us a winner on Wednesday.
I agree. I like Seth better off the bench than starting.
I like Seth.
I look at the stats. How many has he scored off the bench versus starting? I bet you all of them are off the bench.
He hasn't started many games, so most of them are off.
Exactly. Well, and when he does start, he does do nothing when he starts.
Okay.
Wait, let's go back. Darwin only has 1 goal for the league, and we're in December.
Yeah.
Because he had a hat trick. He had a hat trick in
25
Europa
million. He
League.
makes a ton of runs, dude.
He has
Who
a
gives a
hat trick in Europa League, and then I think he scored in one of the Taça games. That's why.
Dude, you especially as a striker, you never went on droughts. Your whole, I get you're supposed to score goals, but the whole point is for the team to score goals, and he's doing.
Dude, our RDT was gone, and he had 1 goal too.
Tank.
1 goal total.
Jay, this isn't.
Yeah, 1 goal total.
This
No, for the
isn't.
league.
This isn't a
All
fucking
competition.
Spanish league or the Prem. This is the Portuguese league.
Good. He's coming from a second division.
Score goals, dude.
He's trying.
Vai marcar
He
na-
hasn't, so he
Dude, he's
obviously
gonna
sucks.
fucking bury one in your throat.
I hope he scores on Wednesday.
Keep talking, dude.
All right, so Marega's
Before or after Taremi scores?
Jay's gonna get text like Chupa.
He's gonna score a header because he's not that good with his feet, but he will score a header.
So Marega's on the sheet. Who's the second one? Seth? What are your votes? Seth? Are we looking?
I'm
I
going
Taremi?
Darwin.
I'm going Darwin.
I go
Darwin. Jay's gonna say Taremi. Or
Jay's
Seth.
gonna say Corona
No,
again.
I won't. I was gonna say Corona.
You want Corona all over the field.
It is the word of the year. So.
That's true.
All right, so the votes are in. Darwin gets to start up top. So we got Corona, Pep, Mbemba, Grimaldo, Rafa, Pizzi, Sergio Oliveira, Everton, Marega, and Darwin. Who wins the league? I think should.
All right, beat Arsenal.
Hey, you want to know why they win the league? Because there's no Sporting players on it.
Here's the heavy hitting question here. If you had to pick I know Oscar's answer. If you had to pick a coach between the two, JJ or Conceição, who do you want?
No brainer.
Well, Oscar's gonna go Sergio. Jay's gonna go Sergio, and I think the rest of us will go JJ. I don't know about you, Mike. I'm gonna go JJ.
I like Sergio Conceição, but I like JJ too. Once his teams get going, so I'm gonna pick JJ. Oscar's mad. Oscar, tell us. Why?
Why? Because Sergio Conceição, like you guys remember, like Sergio Conceição's team, he was almost gone. How many times from Porto when he went on droughts, right? And he somehow is a coach that gets his team going again. And it's very hard for a coach to do that. Have you guys noticed that somebody when they lose their players, it's almost hard to recover, right? And he's done it like 2-3 times, he's got his team riled up again and back into the first place, like fighting for a championship. To me, that's a coach. Now, a coach that loses a team like Bruno Lage did and then gave up, the team gives up to him, he's not able to get him back. That's when you find weaknesses in a coach. And Sergio Conceição to be one of those coaches. And I think if Jorge loses the players, he's gone. I don't think.
But I think I agree with that. Credit to Sergio to be able to, right after that Braga game where he came out in this flash interview and basically put a spot up for grabs, and then they went into a meeting with Pinto da Costa and they came out after the game. But I also think part of that, I think part of that is the culture in the club as well. Right? I think we can all agree that the culture in the club at Porto, whether we like it or not, growing up, has always been like, you need to run through fucking walls. You need to run over whoever the hell you need to run over. I don't care who it is, what color they are. You need to just go out there and do it. And I think maybe that's been part of Benfica's issue, is just they don't have that like winning culture, right? When you win so much, it becomes like an addiction, right? Like, I want to win more. I want to win more. And Sergio Conceição, as a player, he was a passionate guy, right? We all know that when he was on the field. And he brings that with him as a coach. But again, credit to him. I think Bruno Lage showed that he couldn't regroup and get the team back up. Rui Vitória had the same issue. Sergio Conceição to put a spot up for grabs after a loss against Braga and to regroup and get that team, whatever it took, again, because of the infrastructure, because of the people behind, because of the club as a whole, I think it all plays a big part. But the fact that he got them to back him again, to get the wheel spinning again, I think is telling of what type of manager he is. Jay, I'm assuming your vote is Sergio.
We basically explained it for him.
I believe it or not, for that there was like a 4 or 5 year period where Porto kind of was like not good enough. I thought the guy to bring in was Jesus. I was actually hoping that they would somehow hijack him and get him into the Porto locker room, because he does have those same tendencies that Sergio does. Yeah. I just think that Jesus thinks he's like much better than what he really is.
His ego is definitely big.
For those men, yeah, his ego's huge. I mean, Sergio's ego now is fucking massive because he's won a couple leagues and he's beat Benfica a couple times. So now he thinks he's like, the hottest thing on earth. But it's only a couple years away before Sergio coaches Real Madrid. So, win another league, and now he's coaching Real next year.
Jesus.
Your mind.
You'll be like in other Villas Boas. You'll end up in Marsella fighting for a spot.
Hey, Marseille's fighting for the league.
You did say something. You're talking about two of the most passionate coaches on the sidelines that scream at their players pretty much all 90 minutes. So it's going to be funny. It's going to be funny I wish they had a camera videotaping the coaches at all times too.
And no fans, so we'll be able to hear everything they say.
Yeah.
Hey, Jesus will be my highlight after this on the post match of this after this game. If he's able to do like this to Sergio Conceição.
He did three, not four.
I want four.
So is that your prediction? That's a good segue. No,
don't say your prediction. Hold on, before we get to prediction, I want to get to tell me who over the years growing up. We'll start with Oscar. Who is the one player that you disliked the most at Porto, and the one player that you would have liked to see at Benfica that Porto had?
The dislike the most?
Ooh.
I disliked the most growing up. Holy shit, you guys had so many that
Porto?
Dude, only two stick to mind.
All right,
one
that I disliked the most was definitely Bruno Alves. I like him in this last sound. He's the garra, but man, I hated watching him play for Porto because how dirty he was.
That's mine.
And who would you of Porto's players? Who would you have liked to see?
Who scared me the most is definitely obviously Jardel.
So you would have liked to see him at Benfica of all their players.
Of course, I would rather have him on my team than against me.
Okay. Kenny?
So definitely Bruno Alves and Deku. Hands down.
Okay. Tank?
I hated Mario Jardel growing up. hated. Deck was another one that I didn't like either. Those two stick to my mind. I mean, Bruno Alves, obviously.
Who would you want on your team?
Both, either one of those two, Deku. I agree with Silva. Deku's probably one of the best players to come out of the Portuguese league in the last 20 years.
No. Not probably. Probably the greatest player.
No, I wouldn't say
ever played in the Portuguese league.
That's a little. I mean, Ronaldo played in the Portuguese league. Like, can't.
2 games.
Oh.
Doesn't count.
Ronaldo.
No, but I would either say Jardel or Deku. Do either one of those two. Those are the two that, growing up in the 90s and 2000s, those are the ones that bit us in the ass. And Jay, growing up with Jay, you know how Jay was with those two. They had like
His dog's named Deku.
Yeah,
Come on.
he biggest man crush on those two. So I would say those two.
Jay.
And a lot of it had to do because of Jay Silva right there.
Who did you hate and who would you take?
From Benfica's team.
Same player, Oscar Cardozo. I fucking hated that guy.
Because he
hated him.
He's to score. It's scary you.
But I want him on my team.
Wow.
He still plays. You know that?
Yeah, he still scores golazos.
Yeah.
He plays for Libertad or something like that.
Yeah,
I was watching,
he scored a goal the other day.
Yeah. I'm going to say mine was the player I hated the most was Paulinho Santos. Paulinho Santos for me was, dude, that guy was like a virus. I hated that guy so much. The player that I liked, that I would have liked to see, Lucho Gonzalez. I thought he was just absolute class. He wasn't a guy like, he was very good, but he wasn't like your typical Porto DNA. Like, Rasudu, like he wasn't like arguing, like he just was a different type of class. Like, I don't know. For me, he just like oozed class, and he was a good player in many facets of his play. So he was always one guy that I always thought was really good. So.
And to be honest, there's a lot of names we're leaving out, like Hulks, the James Rodriguez,
dude.
You know how
like a lot of like Rui Barros, like back in when
you know how
watching it. There's a lot of players Porto had that I did not like. I just have to name one.
You know how Jay said like he hated
was another one. Jesus,
he hated Cardozo, but he liked Cardozo on his team because he scared him when he played Porto. My guy, even though Jardel scored a lot of goals, is definitely like a Hulk. Hulk used to, if Hulk was hurt that game, like fuck, thank God. If Hulk was playing, we were like fuck, how are we gonna stop him?
Even like Drolovic crossing the ball to Jardel, like dude, those teams were so good.
Do you remember Hulk against David Luiz?
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, he torched him on that.
And what's the kid, the Portuguese left back you guys had? What the fuck was his name? He went to Real Madrid. Jesus Christ.
Coentrão.
Yeah, Fabio. He put them both on the grounds. Every weekend he would do it. Porto would be playing some other team, and David Luiz was on the ground chasing him still.
All right, now the best part of it all, our predictions. Jay, I'm going to start with you.
Me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're a betting man, here's a couple statistics. Porto's won the last 4 or 5. The last 4 or 5 have gone over 2.5 goals. Porto's at plus 200. Benfica's at plus 125.
This kid's
Take
betting on
Porto
the
money
game.
line and the over. 3-1. Whoever wins is 3-1, and I think Porto wins.
Wait, Porto's won the last what? The last
4 or 5?
No, out of the last 5. Out of the
I
last
think it's
5.
4 or 5.
Out of the last 6,
No.
Benfica won 4.
No, he's won. They're right. They won. Porto's won the last 3, then Benfica won, then Porto won, then Benfica won. So out of the last 6, Porto's won 4 of 6. or
What you talking about?
Yeah,
Or 4 or 5.
4 or 5, 4 or 6.
Benfica won in 2019 at 5-0 against Sporting. And then Porto won.
Oscar, I'm talking about
Porto
overall,
against
overall. The
Benfica.
last 5 games we played.
Oh yeah. Then that I can argue that. Yeah, no.
yeah. In the last 10,
The
in the
last,
last 10, Porto's won 5, Benfica's won 2, and they've drawn 3 in the last 10 between the two of them
yeah.
in all competitions.
Take the over.
Tank,
Take the over, betting people. Take the over.
So this trophy usually belongs to Porto. It shows by how many times they've won it. But I'm optimistic. I think we're going to pull it off. And I actually agree with Silva's scoreline. It's going to be 1-1 though, and I think it's going to be 3-1 going. Then ended in extra time, 3-1.
Damn, 2 goals in extra time.
Yes.
Hey, that's my prediction, dude. Could happen.
Okay. Kenny?
Oh boy. I mean, I will never ever guess Benfica losing. I've told you guys this before. So Benfica's gonna win. Now the score, they're each gonna concede 1. So I'm just gonna go a simple 2-1 Benfica.
In
So
regulation?
that's over. 3
In,
is
regu-
over. 3 overs.
in regulation. In regulation.
Okay. Oscar?
Right. Because this is a 1 game. If it was just a normal Campeonato game, my answer would have been different. But this is a 1 game, and I'm going to go the same result as Kenny. But I'm going to be like this. I think if Seth comes in, it's 1-1. Seth comes in to score, and he puts Samaris in to hold the result.
So 2-1.
2-1. Seth's
In regulation.
All that for
in regulation.
Okay. I'm gonna say this game's gonna be 1-1, and Benfica wins in penalties.
Ooh.
Oh, PKs. Okay. We just left another PK game.
Pedro Diaz is alive.
Listen,
Pedro
I'm going to
saying
tell you guys something. If we go to extra time, there's at minimum 2 red cards in the game.
On top of the 2 in regulation.
I'm not
Hey,
talking about.
so Jay,
Hey,
are you
Jay.
gonna place a bet for 2 red cards over? Like you probably that probably pays out very well.
No, I won't touch that. There is no chance that the game goes 120 minutes and there's no red cards in this game.
Well, I agree with that. I 100% agree with that.
I agree.
Well, I'm telling you, it's gonna be a red card. Tarav's gonna get one if he starts.
Have there been many games that have gone to PKs? I just don't see that happening. I don't know.
Supertaça? I don't know. I'd have to go back.
That's rare. That's rare to happen. It's gonna. I don't know.
Oh, between us, you're saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. The way both teams are playing, like, I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have like this, comfort level where it's like, oh, great, Porto's, playing awesome and we're playing shit and we're probably going to lose, or vice versa. Like I think they're both miles from where they will be in 2 or 3 months. So I think if there's ever been an opportunity for either one to have an advantage, I think it's here, right? I think the next time we play in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, I think the teams will look very different. And at Porto, I think it'll be different, but I don't know. I think it's up for grabs.
But it is a lot on the line. This is the first trophy of the season.
Yeah.
Both teams have a lot to prove. Like, they're both not playing well right. Well, I mean, they're not playing up to expectations. I think you're going to see – I really do think you're going to see the best of both teams, and it's going to be obviously a tight game. And, yeah, I mean, if they really go to extra time, it's going to be a fucking – like, I agree with Jay. There'll be a red card because they're going to be gassed.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect. I do think this – go ahead, Jay.
I think for some reason I think you guys have this all wrong. I honestly think that these are the teams that we're going to see all year. Leaky defenses, scoring a ton of goals. I just think with COVID, no preseason, no fans, lack of those like team cohesive like trainings and all these extra things you can be doing as a group and all that stuff. I just think that like that bond that teams usually generate over 5-6 months of the season isn't going to happen. I mean, overall in soccer, goal scoring is up. I mean, the Prem, I think it's like 3.4 goals or something like that. Italy is almost 4 goals per game. I just think this is I just think this is what we get. 3-4 goals per game. Both teams have leaky defenses, don't really have a back line that you can confidently say, you know, it's against the good teams, right? Against the mediocre bottom of the barrel, a 2-0, 3-0 win is like, that's just routine for us. But against Sporting Braga, Benfica, those kind of games, I could see easily 3-2, 4-2 type of games regularly.
Yeah, right. Because right now you have to think about it. With this, like Jay said, with the COVID, no fans, it feels like a practice game almost. Like, it feels like they're scoring for fun or not even have to defend. When there's pressure on the you know, there's fans there and they push for the team, it's a kind of different environment. Either your team defends better or they attack better. And I think it has to do a lot with the push behind with the fans. You know, I agree with Jay. I absolutely agree with Jay. It feels like a practice round.
Yeah, but I'm almost like
how this. Go ahead, Kenny.
No, I was just gonna say I almost look at it the opposite, right? Like I'm used to, you know, if Benfica's chasing the game, they're looking for a goal. Like the fans being there, almost like get them to that goal, right? They're like they're where there's no fans. I don't feel like there's any like I think it was 2 games ago. Benfica was, I think they were tied or something. I forget which game it was, but we circled the ball like 4 passes. We were just. There was like it was you know, stoppage time. There's like a minute left and they're just circling the ball. They didn't make one cross into the box in the last like 3-4 minutes of stoppage time. It was ridiculous. Like there's no push from the fans to get them to get there. So for me, I almost look at it the opposite. Like no fans, less goals. But I guess the statistics are what they are. If they're scoring more, then they're scoring more. But I don't see it. I mean, maybe for Benfica, I don't. I mean, we're not up in the, you know, for goals scored. I don't think we're up there. I think Sporting and Porto.
No, Porto only has 2 more goals than we do.
We got 23. Porto's got 25, and Sporting's got 24.
And we have 2 more conceded than Porto.
Yeah,
right.
And both of us have given up double-digit goals. That, you know, 10 games double-digit for us. That's like very rare.
Yeah,
you know, we usually
have
have 6, 7
not the defenses we have. We also have, like, we used to have Ruben Diaz and Luis Alves and all that, and now we have Aleijados that we borrowed.
Well, a lot of people made. I think I don't know if it was you guys or someone, but they said like Benfica, Porto, Sporting, they're used to playing home games everywhere they go. There's no the fans aren't traveling to these away games, so playing in fucking, you know, wherever, it doesn't matter. You're not going to have the support there. So, that helps. That helps the little teams.
That advantage is gone. It'll be interesting to see how this, like a Clássico, a game that has so much passion, so much history with no fans, is going to be interesting to see how, like, the players react, right? Like, because these players, right, like, you don't need motivation to come to the game, but the fans on both sides kind of like spur that passion, right? Like a bad tackle or a bad call, right? Like, and then it just gets the players going, right? And with none of that in play, how do the players react to that will be interesting.
The players that have been there, that haven't been there, the new players that haven't experienced the Clássico in Portugal, I don't think they have that same feeling that the players that have been there have.
And Benfica winning.
JJ.
Some apples. Some
for the tipa.
So we will be back on Wednesday evening, post-match special. Jay will be joining us again. There may be some tears, or there will be some tears. We'll see on which side. Hopefully there'll be less tears because there's 4 of us and 1 of him. If Porto wins, it's going to be a long show, but we'll get through it. So again, Wednesday, don't forget, we'll be back same time, Wednesday evening, to talk about the Porto game against Benfica in the Supertaça. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, subscribe to the channel on YouTube. We have an account on Instagram as well, and then we're all on Twitter. Tank, Kenny, and Oscar have theirs there. Mine's M Gonçalves 10. Jay is FC9 Porto, right? Porto, I think.
Typical.
So again, thanks for sticking with us. There was quite a few numbers that stuck through the whole show. I know it was a long one, but I think it was worth it to kind of dissect the game. We'll be back on Wednesday. Hopefully it's a Benfica win, but we'll see you in a few days, and have a good evening. Viva Benfica.
Viva Benfica!
See you guys.
Benfica sucks, always has.